Hey, I wanted to invite you on a learning journey with me. And so I am going to work to understand and help Missy develop more confidence. And what I'm most interested in learning about is how to help her do that by becoming more balanced in her body. And last weekend, we went to a clinic and I got yelled at about letting her come into my space. And I can understand a little bit of what was happening, but I really couldn't picture it. And so what I wanted to do was have myself videoed so I could see what other people see when I was working with a horse. So I did that and have already discovered some things that I can do differently that will help her. And I decided to share this journey because, I think there's a lot of inspiration, insights, wisdom that we can get from rehabbing horses. At least I can, and oftentimes I share that out even with people that aren't horse people, and there are some nuggets that they can get from that. So this video that follows is not at all me saying, oh, this is exemplary horsemanship and do what I do. No, almost the exact opposite. I'm saying, all right, here's what I got. I really want it to be better. What do I do? And afterwards, I was talking with Liz, who was filming for me and who is incredibly knowledgeable about horsemanship and horse space and your space and how to get them to move different parts of their body. So I wanted to employ her wisdom and also her essence, because she and I can get into these wonderful discussions. And when we were riding, we would call it eyes on the ground. But now I can see it more as just an external trusted viewpoint when you're making yourself really vulnerable, how that can be so important. And one of the things that we got talking about, sorry, there's a stinging thing flying around me, was coachability. And I think I'm usually pretty good at saying, all right, help me be different. But for me, even on some days, it can be different. And oftentimes, like when we're exposed to a new situation, or if someone is really wanting some validation that they're good, or some visibility as an expert, they might not be so coachable, because we have to admit that we didn't know something in order to learn something. So I am sharing this video about Missy and I starting the video documentation of me being able to help her better. And there's already a couple things that I'm going to do different, because I'm going to have the second session soon. And one of those, I had brought out a dressage stick to work with her with, and ended up leaving that behind. And it was really hot outside, and we had all the videos set up. So I was like, okay, I'll just use this rope. Ropes are not my first language, and I think there are many places in there where I feel like I could have been more clear with my communication if I had different tools. So we'll see, because now I'll document it and be able to see my experience more from the outside. So if you're going to watch the next video, I appreciate that. Welcome you to share anything about your learning journey, and hopefully we'll be able to watch Missy become much more balanced in both her physical body and her mental awareness and her security, because that's really what it comes down to. So thank you for watching, listening to this disclaimer about this is not perfect horsemanship, and welcome on my journey. Bye. So my goal here is to explore the idea of energetic into me versus having them push me around. And so Missy's a pretty good example this is the point where I'm going to ask her to switch eyes. Good girl. Walk on. Right there.
She kind of was trying to decide to come into you, invite that, or was it her pushing herself?
That was. So this is me inviting. And she pushed a little, which I guess I know that she pushes sometimes, but God, like she's getting ready to push right there too. And now I will invite her because the fly helped me out. We're not going in the garden. Do you see me pulling her onto me?
No, but I think you don't always, like, you'll decide to invite her after she's pushed. And so that, to them, that's like, oh, I got it. Be like there.
Uh-huh.
Like, ask her to keep getting, because that's not where you want her to be, is it?
No.
Okay, so move her.
Yes, and that sometimes when I'm talking, I get not mindful, which I definitely should work on. But I think having you see these little spots, because as exhibited by when we went to cowboy dressage and she lost her poop, I have to help her better. Mm-hmm. And so maybe catching those little instances will help me earn more of her trust.
Yeah, because she came in and then you didn't move her right away, and that was her pushing, and then she's like, oh, I live here, and then you got in conversation, which is, you know, human. Mm-hmm. But I think she thought that that was where you wanted her, and that was after a push.
Yep. Okay. Here. All right, so let's walk around a little and see if we can do that again and I can catch things. Oh. Okay. I figured eventually I might look into wireless mics, but just having a microphone was such a big deal. Okay, so now I'm going to ask her, I'm going to move a little bit and ask her to switch eyes. And so there she pushed. So I'm not going to draw her into me yet until I get her there. Now I'm going to ask, so was that a more precise, don't run over the camera. Yep. Yeah, as soon as I focused on you, I could feel that she, and now come this way. So, yeah, it seems like it's a fine-tuning type thing, more so than I was completely off the mark.
Yeah, I think maybe you get distracted, and just because you're talking to me or you're talking to somebody else, and she's just like, oh my God, so finding that window and being able to be like, no, we don't stop at this window.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think sometimes when I think this is still something that I can get better at. However, when I'm at a clinic and I'm trying so hard to learn and absorb and ask questions, I think I need to increase how aware I am of my horse, because I probably let her push me around more there than I do here. All right, so maybe this wasn't going to be the big, huge, in-depth conversation.
Well, there's still this element of like multitasking. And how do you effectively help the horse and share what's going on without losing the horse?
Yeah, practice, right?
Yeah.
So we're practicing, Miss.
And she's great because she's looking for every opportunity.
Yes. Yeah. Can you see what she's doing with her mouth now? Yep. 'Cause I know, we got an instructor, yay! Walk on, hey, go, just go.
So even when she crossed over a little bit, she leaned. And I know she's changing, but she should be able to round around, which we know is a problem for her.
Yes.
Anyway.
So then, I'm guessing I just get a little more micromanaging with, okay.
Pick on
What? Yeah, what you see from the. Yep. Yeah, and she's, she started that one better too because she was more rocked back. So there's that, we were spending a lot of emphasis at the clinic on balance. And I completely agree that she's out of balance. That's why she has such a hard time managing things. Good girl. But part of the challenge is with the tensions that she's got going on, if I try to help release the tension that she carries, pole, TMJ, whatever that hyoid thing is, she will try to bite me or strike or run over me.
Well, that's common.
Yeah, but I can more help, when I can help the back end to a certain extent, then she'll let me, so kind of helping her rebalance from the back.
Yeah, but if she's rocking back, then she's in balance.
Yes, and so that was better. Well, that was better too, but can you keep going? Yep. So, no, not quite. One of the things that I will have to remember with her too is when I get a no, no, no from the clinician, I still have to gradually make my shift with her. Because if I...
Yeah, you can't just drop it.
Yeah. And now she'll let me play with her face a little, whereas at the beginning she wouldn't.
What happens when you do those, like, 4 of them?
4 circles or 4 change of direction? Well, I think...
Does that challenge her too much?
I don't know that I've done that many in a row ever. We could play?
I mean, do whatever. Because I don't think you'll need that much room if you're just doing, like, figure 8.
Yeah, that's the only thing that makes me a little uncomfortable. Like, yeah, go over here. Okay, wait. I know that was partly my fault. Okay, maybe all my fault. Can you go this way? Okay, well, she didn't do as clean of a start as I would have liked, but we'll go with that anyway. Okay, ready? I see. Before I would have taken another step, and I stopped myself because I'm focusing now on what I'm doing. 2. Keep going. I know. Oh, she gets a little rattled. I'm willing to bet that she might get a tiny bit more rattled and then she'd smooth out. Mm-hmm. Still going. Still going. Well, this is the harder side. Ooh. Yeah. All right, you can pause after that one. So now I'm going to let her come. Huh. And that was less pushy, which isn't surprising.
No.
And really the fact that she didn't, I mean, I know this is really goopy, but ordinarily when she gets rattled, she just trots off. She runs away at the trot, basically. You did very well. So then, now I would put more under horsemanship than energetic.
Oh, 100%.
Okay. Just wondered, because I don't know what you're perceiving unless I ask you.
Yeah.
No.
Because you can't energetically do that until you have horsemanship. You know?
Mm-hmm. Here.
And it's like she can't cross over without going forward. Which is just that lack of balance.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is mud.
Yeah, and that didn't feel, it felt a little bit like, okay, I'm Missy, I want to hang out with you, but it was more like, I wanted to go over there or over here, and I think I can just push you around enough to get there.
Well, because she's doing it right now. See?
So, now let's see if, I bet this one will be pretty unbalanced. Or non-existent. Yep. Because it started there, and it carried through here. So if we can you walk a little bit? Now come this way. Here's something I actually don't know. Because I've never really done those changes and then consciously ask them to stop. I mean, it might have happened if I got lucky with pushing. So
you're going to move her back if she's pushing right
yes. Yes. Again, thinking. So to establish. But you didn't bring it forward. Now put it back there.
She's going to go after flies. So.
Right. A fly there. Then I will say, all right, but come this way because it was getting to be much.
But now she's stopped.
Yes. So, and that was also much more in balance. So there's a huge link towards being in balance and not pushing on you.
Right. I mean, like a poor rider relies on the reins to be in balance. So she's relying on your body mass to hold her up.
Gotcha. So sometimes, and I think that we could know this, but saying it out loud helps too, because the pushiness isn't always, I want to bowl you over. The pushiness is, I need something and I don't quite know how to get it.
Yeah, I need you to support me.
Yep. Because I think for the right person, because you have to be a little bit careful with that too, because if I say that I want to support you through this,
not carrying you though,
and not coddling you, there goes a deer, because somewhat that supporting her is being able to be secure at a distance. But I'll take all the help I can get.
as long as she doesn't run you over when it moves.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And accepting that invitation that clearly she wanted to move. Okay, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
But you still can't push me while we're moving. Just because it was like...
Yes. Yep, and there was a little of the unraveling. Ah, those were better, don't you think? Okay, no, well, it's just because I switched my focus. Instead of focusing, I was more on trying to help support her making a circle with her hind feet, or a semicircle, whatever shape it would be. And lo and behold, when I'm focused on a much more helpful and correct thing, everything works better.
Well, because their power is right.
Some days I know that. All right, I'm going to take her over and let her eat a little bit of grass.